Impi ke phakathi kweSouth Africa ne-USA isifinyelele emazingeni athanda kuba phezulu. Namhlanje sivuka ngeindaba ezithi uDonald Trump uthi South Africa ngeke azayi-invite ngo-2026 kwi-G20 summit ezobe ise-USA. Hola Mtrampompo. Alright ke, uTrump ukusho lokhu nje akagcinanga lapho ube sethena futhi uzostopha any funding eya eSouth Africa. That includes to AGOA or anything that deals with the US and South Africa. Lokho kuchaza ukuthi ke i-relationship between South Africa and USA is at its lowest since ever. Lesi simemezelo ke sika Trump silandela i-summit ye-G20 ebise South Africa kule weekend le esiphuma kuyo lapho khona i-USA engayi-attendanga khona le summit eyafika nje khona ngosuku lokugcina isizohandovelwa amaphepha ihandovelwa eSouth Africa. uTrump ke uthi South Africa inqabile kumhandovela amaphepha kodwa uhulumeni waseSouth Africa uthi bona banikezile abantu bebethunyelwe e-USA kwi-embassy eSouth Africa amaphepha ukuthi noma i-president ukuthi sebengayihosta i-G20 ngonyaka wango-2026. Sonke ke siyazi ukuthi USA yathi ayizukuza kwi-G20 summit ngenxa yokuthi eSouth Africa bathi kune-genocide against abantu abamhlophe, namanje basasho njalo. Kodwa umhlaba wonke uyazi ukuthi lokho akusilona iqiniso. I-USA ifihla okuyisona sizathu sangampela sokwenza ukuthi inyanye kangaka iSouth Africa. Namhlanje ngizokuchazela leso sizathu. Mina ke ngoba ngincethezi ngizohlehla ngekulandela emuva lapho khona lenkinga esuka khona nanokuthi why sizithola sekulempi engaka esiphezulu kwayo namhlanje eSouth Africa. Iqala lana ke problem. iG8 okwakuhamazwe awu8 okwakuhlanganisa iCanada, iFrance, iGermany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, United States neRussia baxabana ngo-2014 bayixosha iRussia emveni kokuba i-invade iCrimea okuyi-part of iUkraine. Ithe iRussia umiphuma ingoba yayisinobudlelwane esibuqalile long back nento okuthiwa yi-BRIC. Njengoba siyazi sonke ke ukuthi akuseyona i-BRIC sekuyi-BRICS, iSouth Africa yayisanda kuyijoyina yayiqede kuyijoyina ngo-2010. The first official summit eya-attendwa eSouth Africa yayingo-2011. So ngo-2014 ke kwenzeka lesi sigameko sokuthi iRussia isiyaxoshwa kwi-G8 isiba yi-G7. Ever since then things never became the same. Why? Because i-G8 include iRussia used to invite many countries aswabale lawo mazwe. Yiwo wonke nje amazwe amakhulu anama economies amakhulu including iChina, iRussia, iIndia, South Africa, Brazil and many others. All right? But since after iG8 yaba iG7, amazwe afana no China, no South Africa, no India awabange esa-invitwa kwi-G7 ngenxa yokuthi abe-aligne neRussia kwinto ye-BRICS. So ngicela ukukhombisa ke lokho ukuthi neChina nayo ya-affecteka since the transition from G7 to from G8 to G7 in 2014. Such invitations to China have become less common publicly. Kusayi G8 iSouth Africa nayo yayihlezi invitwa noma yayijwayele uku-invite ukuthi izoba yi-guest noma i-observer. 2001 yayikhona, 2003 yayikhona, 2005 yayikhona, 2007 yayikhona, 2009 yayikhona, 2010 yayikhona, 2012 yayikhona. I-problem iqala lana ke uma sekukhishwa iRussia ekubeni i-part of iG8. Ngicela uyalelisise kahle ke lento. Ever since even eSouth Africa base bengayimeli especially ngesikhathi uZuma esawu president. For example, the most recent G7 outreach sessions involving a South African president were with Ramaphosa, not Zuma. Let me tell you when. Siyazi ke sonke ukuthi Cyril Ramaphosa wangena uba upresident we-South Africa ngo-2018 February ngalesikhathi kade ku-resigna uZuma. Since from June 2018 uCyril Ramaphosa has been attending iG7 meetings uma bem-invite. Njengoba ubona nje nango-2019 uCyril wahamba waye-France uku-attenda iG7. Eyango-2020 ke yaphazamiseka because of i-COVID-19 yayidlange kakhulu ngaleso sikhathi. Kwaze kwaba yango-2021 wayi-attenda, yango-2022 kanjalo ke wango-2023 2024 kuphela iG7 angayi-attendanga because kwakunale nto le yokuthi fanele kukhethwe iGNU. Ilapho ke sabona khona uCyril Ramaphosa phatheke kabi ukuthi kwi-G7 kuzokohlalwa yena engekho since kwakunalento ukuthi fanele ekhethe iGNU like I said earlier on. But even nalena iya last year 2025 uCyril uhlezi enza sure ukuthi ukhona kulama G7. All right, you get now the point and you see the evidence. All right, now let me tell you what happened kuyona yonke leminyaka uCyril ekwi G7. Ngaleso sizathu ke iSouth Africa ibisilokhu ihlabana nama loan iwathola from iIMF. Siyakhumbula ngesikhathi seCovid amabhillion ayilokhu echitheka efika la eSouth Africa. iIMF ithulula ezimali kanjalo neWorld Bank nayo ibisiqhubeka ikwazi ukuthi isiboleke imali isinikeze imali amabhillion ngamabhillion. 2020 since from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, even this year we are still receiving ama loans from iIMF neWorld Bank. Nanso ke indaba lapha eqala khona lalelisisa kahleke okuyiyonanto ebuumnyombo we-G20 summit yango 2025 ukuthi South Africa took a posture yokuthi bafuna ukuthi onke lamazwe akweleta kwi-World Bank na kwi-IMF angabe sachargewa kakhulu njengoba kwenzeka ngokwezikweletu zabo. Cyril ke took lama loans but manje aseyamxaka. So he wanted to use i-G20 le ebise South Africa ukuze kuphasela ama resolution. Ngizocela ukuthi uwafunde, just pause the video uwafunde. Wona ama resolution ke lawa abezothathwa kule G20 le ebekade sihleli kuyo. Onke lama points ekade thathwa regarding IMF ne World Bank njengoba ubona ingoba kukhala ngokuthi ama developing countries awazi ukuthi adevelop kahle ngenxa yezikweletu ezihleli la abangakwazi ukuphuma kuzo. Ngaleyo ndlela ke lapho khona ke iUSA ingena khona lalisisa kahleke. Sesifikile ke lapho esiya khona. iUSA is the largest shareholder in the World Bank. Now ke okusho ukuthi nayinoma mapha ama resolution athathwayo against iWorld Bank kulimala iUSA. All right, iUSA owns about 16.5% i-voting power abanayo kwi-World Bank. Lokho okuyenza iUSA ibe number 1 in terms of i-power noma i-investment abanayo in terms of i-World Bank. Now for any resolution ukuziphasa kwi-World Bank fanele ibe ngaphezulu kuka 85%. Okusho ukuthi onke amanye amazwe ahlangene fanele kwazi ukuthi enze u85% and above ukuze kuphase i-resolution. I-problem is iUSA alone ino 16.5%. Okusho ukuthi abakwazi ukuthatha ama resolution ahlanganisa iWorld Bank ngaphandle kwe-USA. Same thing na ku-IMF. I-IMF, the largest stakeholder of IMF, United States of America. Same setup. Collectively, the G7 countries control over 40% of IMF, giving them a dominant influence. So, ngaleyo ndlela ke, nansi ke la ikhona. Amazwe akwi-G7 axakwe yi-United States of America because bakweleta kakhulu nabo kwi-IMF ne-World Bank. That is France, Germany, UK. Manje sebesebenzisa iSouth Africa ukuthi ayilwe ne-US ukuze kwenziwe ama reforms kwi-IMF na kwi-World Bank. Now i-United States of America ithi le position esinayo sayilwela nge-World War II ukuze sikwazi ukuba nale influence wonke esinayo. Asikwazi ukuthi sizoyidedela kalula kanjalo. So asikwazi kohlala kwi-G20 summit epusha ipropaganda noma i-influence yokuthi kudethronewe thina ne-US dollar yethu kwi-power esinayo. ISouth Africa ke isibe phakathi nendawo kulempi okwenza ukuthi iUSA itargeteke iSouth Africa ilwe neSouth Africa ibayeke ozakwabo abanayo kwi-G7 kodwa ilwe nalabo abaphaphayo beyongena entweni abangahlangene nayo. Yini ehlule iSouth Africa ukuthi iqhubeke nokuphusha into ye-BRICS Bank siphume kwi-IMF ne-World Bank ngoba zonke lezi inkinga ezizayo nezisilandelayo zisuka lapho.